Hello everyone. How are you all? I hope everyone is doing fine and safe. So let's start a video as in the previous videos we were discussing. In this video, we'll try to complete the next set of questions, that is from question number 21. So see, question number 21 states that the economic environment around us consists of which basic entities? Number one, households, that is the consumers. Number two, firms, that is the producers. Number three, government, that is the coordinator. Number four, which is only one and two, that is households and firms. And number five is none of these. So basically coming to the answer, the economic environment basically consists of three basic entities around us that comprise of the household, which is the consumers. We also have the firms, which is the producers, and also the government, which is the coordinator. Now, in the present day society, every household is engaged into some or the other economic activity in a firm, either to earn a living or a livelihood in order to attain the ultimate objective, that is the satisfaction of human wants. Now, households and firms are interrelated. Okay? Now, households and firms basically with their interrelation, that is, households provide their services to firms and gets paid for the same in the form of salary or wages, whatever you say. Whereas firms provides goods and services to the household and gets paid in the form of prices. This mutual give and take becomes a complex phenomena if there is no such or there is no one to overlook the activities of these entities. That is where there is the need of management. Now, this role is played by the third entity, which is the government. So, all the three entities, that is the household, the firms, and the government, all play a important part in the economic environment which is around us and which consists of the basic entities. So, the option uh, option to question number 21 will be none of these because 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3 all should be included in the answer, which is not there in the option. So we will mark it as none of these. Next, moving on to question number 22. The definition of management, getting things done through and with people, are coined by Luther Gulick, Henry Fayol, Coons, and O'Donnell. Number 4, which is only 1 and 2, that is Luther and Henry, or number 5, which is none of these. So actually the definition of management has been given by various people. But this particular definition of management by various economists, they had been given, but uh, Henry or Luther, if we come to the various concepts of management, that definition of management that they have been given is quite different. So they define management as the process of getting things done, and O'Donnell defines the process of management as it's a process of getting things done by, but to be very particularly he has mentioned various things. It's the process of management or the process of things being done by the people and through the people. Okay. So he has also said that getting things done through and with the people. Okay. And Henry Fayol also described this: to manage is to forecast, and to plan, to organize, to command, and to coordinate and to command. So basically, if we come to the conclusion, Coons O'Donnell is the only person who defined management as getting things done through and with the people. So this a particular concept has been coined by Coons O'Donnell, which is the third option to our question number 22. Next, moving on to question number 23. Management is an interdisciplinary dash which draws freely from other disciplines such as economics, sociology, and psychology. You have to fill in the blank, which is art, profession, science, all of the above, or none of this. Now, in terms of management, you will see management can be well described as interdisciplinary science. That is, science includes political sciences, physical sciences as many as physics, chemistry, maths, also, the exact sciences, and social sciences, which will involve economics, sociology, psychology, or variable sciences, as it's based on human behavior. And as you know, human behavior is very much unpredictable. So then we can conclude it's a science. So option number 3 is the correct answer, which is science. Now, don't mix up with the concept that management is termed as art as well as science. But here we are talking about interdisciplinary. Okay, so that is why we are choosing option number 3, science, as the correct answer. Next, moving on to question number 24. Top management is generally required to spend more time in planning, the middle level on organizing, and the lower level managers on directing, organizing, staffing. Only 2 and 3, that is organizing, staffing, or none of these. So basically, it will be directing. Okay. The lower level of managers will be based on directing, because under them the laborers or the employees are directly working, so they have been associated with the task of directing. Now the activities of different levels of management are different in proportions. For example, if I say top management is more focused on planning, that is planning for strategic issues, but lessly they are involved in directing functions. On the contrary, lower management is more focused on directing and less on planning. Now, what is directing? I'm talking about directing, but giving you the brief concept of directing. Directing means all the things a manager does in guiding and motivating the people or the employees or the laborers working under him. While all managers do some directing, the functions is performed more often by the lower levels. They are the ones who are doing the work of managing, because these are the people who supervise day-to-day work. They are in charge of it. They are in charge of whether the laborers or the employees are doing the function or not. So basically, the lower level of managers will be associated with the function of directing. That is option number. Next, moving on to question number 25. Planning process comprises determination and laying down of objectives, policies and procedures, strategies, all of the above or none of these. Now, what is planning? Let's come to the definition of planning or the concept of planning. Planning is the process which involves determination, or the planning of objectives, how it is going to be laid, the strategies, the policies, the rules and regulations, programs, how it is going to be function, the budget, the strategies, how it can be executed, the decisions, everything. So planning is a wide concept. It's the first step of management function. So it involves objectives, it involves policies and procedures, it also involves strategies. So then we have all of the above as the correct answer, which is option number 4, all of the above. Moving on to question number 26. Brainstorming is used by the management for work allocation on the shop floor, generating alternative for problem solving, the promotion of research and development, training employees, or none of these. Now, firstly, what is brainstorming? Coming to this, brainstorming is actually a group problem solving technique in which basically or mainly the managers meet face to face to generate and debate in wide variety of alternatives from which they can make a decision, or a decision can be finally arrived. So then definitely it will be based on generating an alternative for problem solving, because when a debate is organized, some people talk for and the others talk against the topic. So out of it, obviously, a alternative will be generated for the problem to be solved. So brainstorming is a process for this. So this is option number 2. The correct option to question number 26 is option number 2, generating alternative for problem solving. Next, moving on to question number 27. Tracking signals can measure forecast quality, track the demand, be useful only when the demand fluctuations are large, Only 1 and 3, that is measure forecast quality and be useful only when the demand fluctuations are large, or number 5, which is none of these. See, tracking signal is used to measure forecasting bias over time for the sale. Okay, or product, especially when buyers approaches extreme proportions and crosses a threshold or a limited level. Now, this comes from the quality control literature, which uses control limits to evaluate if a process is a control or it is not. So then accordingly, we have the forecast quality in mind. So tracking signals can obviously measure forecast quality. That is option number 1. Moving on to question number 28. In locating fire stations, the major criteria would be to minimize transport or travel costs of the fire engines, to minimize the response time, to maximum the utilization of the invested facilities. Only 1 and 3, and number 5, which is none of these. Now, this is very applicable to your common sense. Facility location problem involves locating a facility to optimize some performance as a measure. A location of a public facility to serve the community, such as fire station, significantly affects its service quality. As the main objective in locating a fire station is to minimize the response time, right? Which is the time duration between receiving a call and reaching the place of the incident, and to solve the basic fire which has taken place. In metropolitan areas, fire vehicles need to cross highways or bridges and other traffic obstacles to some obstacle overcoming points which delay the response time. So that's again a problem. So to minimize the response time would be the correct criteria of locating the fire station. So option number 2 is our correct answer. That is for question number 28. We have to minimize the response time will be the correct answer for this. Next, moving on to question number 29. Standard error of number of success is given by root over PQ by N, root over NPQ, number 3 NPQ, number 4 N squared P squared, number 5, which is none of this. Now, the sampling distribution, if you have studied sampling distribution, the sampling distribution of the number of success follows the binomial probability distribution. So the standard error is given by the formula SE is SQRT, which is the NPQ, where N is the size of the sample, P is the probability in each trial, and Q is 1 minus P, that is the other or the alternative probability. So probability of failure if we see. So the correct answer to this is root over NPQ. Altogether N into P into Q and the root over it. So we'll mark option number 2 as the correct answer, which is NPQ. Next, moving on to question number 30. The probability that the throw of 2 dice yields a total of 5 or 8 is 1 by 4, number 2 1 by 5, number 2 2 by 5, number 4 3 by 5, or number 5 none of this. Now coming to this in detail, please be very attentive in hearing this answer. The probability that the throw of 2 dice yields a total of 5 is 4:36. Since pair of 2 dice that results in total 5 will be 1 plus 4, or 2 plus 3, or 3 plus 2, or 4 plus 1. That is coming to, let me write down, 4 by 30. Yes, 4 by 36. So then there will be 4 possibilities, as I told you, 1 plus 4, 2 plus 3, or 3 plus 2, or 5 plus, or 4 plus 1. So there will be 4 possibilities of getting a total 5 on both dices. Similarly, the probability that the throw of 2 dices yields a total of 8 is 5 by 36. How I'm saying? Since pair of 2 dices will result in a total of 8. So how we can get 8? Either 2 by 6, or 3 by 5, or 4 plus 4, or the opposite way, 5 plus 3, or 6 plus 2. We have 5 alternatives. So there will be 5 possibilities of getting a total of 8 on both the dices. So the probability that the throw of 2 dices equals to a total of 5 or 8 is 4 plus 5 by 36, which is 9 by 36 or 1 by 4, which equals to 9 by 36, which comes to ultimately 1 by 4. So the correct option to question number 30 is 1 by 4. Okay, I have told you the method how we are deriving. So that is the sum. So we have solved in this video from question number 21 to 30. I hope you have understood all of the questions. If you want to refer to the previous questions, you can switch on to the other videos that was previously made. And in the next videos, we'll be coming up with the next set of questions. So concluding my video here, thank you, stay happy, stay safe. Thank you.